I want you to picture the shampoo bottle sitting in your shower right now and be honest about what you paid for it. Because if you are like most women over 50 who care about their hair, you have quietly decided somewhere along the way that the good stuff, the stuff that actually works on aging, thinning, color-treated hair, comes from a salon or a fancy brand and costs $30, $40 a bottle. And here is what a hairstylist will tell you when the salon door is closed and there is no commission on the line. There is a bottle on a plain drugstore shelf that costs about $12 that they would put up against your $40 salon bottle without blinking. And in some cases, they would tell you the cheap one wins. The trouble is that $12 Goldmine is hiding in plain sight, ignored because it cannot afford to shout about itself the way the expensive brands do. And there is one brand at the very end of this list so good and so cleverly packaged that you would genuinely swear it was a $40 luxury line, and it costs about $12, which I will show you at number 1. So today, I am giving you 8 cheap hair brands that almost everyone ignores, but that are secretly absolute gold mines for hair over 50. So you can stop overpaying at the salon shelf and start getting genuinely better hair for a fraction of the price. And I promise you, by the time we reach number 1, you will want to check your own shower shelf and work out just how much you have been handing over for something you could have had for $12 all along. Here are the rules, so you know exactly what kind of list this is. Rule 1. Nobody pays me. No brand, cheap or expensive, sponsors this video, and nobody mailed me a bottle. If a cheap brand is genuinely not worth it, I will tell you. And in fact, I will warn you about the cheap ones to avoid too. Rule 2. Every single one is a real, specific named brand or product with the actual reason it holds up on aging hair and where it fits your hair over 50. And Rule 3. There is one honest thing about cheap hair care that you must understand, because not every cheap bottle is a gold mine. Some are genuinely bad, and I will tell you how to spot the difference at the end. But first, 30 seconds on why these gold mines stay hidden, because once you understand it, you will never assume salon means better again. Here is the secret. The gap between salon hair care and good drugstore hair care has basically closed. The genuinely useful ingredients, the bond-building peptides, the hyaluronic acid, the argan oil, the sulfate-free gentle cleansers, are no longer locked away in expensive bottles. They are right there in the cheap ones now, too. But the expensive brands have 2 things. The cheap ones do not. Salon exclusivity, so a professional you trust hands it to you, and enormous marketing budgets, so you see them everywhere and assume they must be the best. The cheap gold mines have neither. They cannot pay to be in your salon, and they cannot pay to be all over your screen, so they sit quietly on a shelf, doing the same job for a third of the price, waiting for someone to notice. And there is something a little unfair about it when you think it through, because it means the brands you have heard of most and trust most are very often simply the ones that spent the most money making sure you heard of them, not the ones that make the best product. The quiet brand with the small budget and the excellent formula never reaches your ears, precisely because it put its money into the bottle instead of the billboard. Today, we notice. Let me show you 8 of them. Let us count them down. Number 8, and we start with the cheapest gold mine of them all, a genuine cult classic that has been quietly working for decades, a hot oil treatment, and the classic drugstore brand Alberto VO5 sells its hot oil treatment for around $4. This is the one you warm under the tap. Work through your hair for just 1 minute before you shampoo and rinse, and it has been smoothing, shining, and softening dry, frizzy, aging hair since long before the luxury oils arrived at 10 times the price. For dry, mature hair that has lost its natural shine, this $4 treatment brings back a genuine, healthy gloss in 60 seconds. It is not glamorous, it does not have a beautiful bottle, and that is exactly why it has been ignored. But it works. Who is it for? Any woman over 50 with dry, dull, frizzy hair who wants shine back for the price of a coffee. $4, and it is one of the best kept secrets in the aisle. And there is a lovely lesson hiding in this humble little tube, because it has been quietly outperforming its price for decades, sitting on the same shelf the whole time while women walked past it to buy the shiny new luxury oil that does the very same job for 10 times the money. The best thing on the shelf is very often the plainest. And the next one is the clean, gentle brand stylists quietly recommend. Number 7 is a clean, silicone-free brand, and Native is a lovely example, selling for around $8. Here is why this one matters, and it comes straight from colorists. Silicones are one of the ingredients they least like to see in a shampoo, because over time, they can build up and weigh hair down, leaving it looking flat and lifeless, which is the last thing aging, thinning hair needs. A good, clean, silicone-free brand cleanses gently without that buildup and without stripping, so your hair stays light, moves well, and looks fuller. And a gentle, clean formula is a gentle, clean formula at $8, not $30. Who is it for? Any woman over 50 whose hair feels weighed down, flat, or coated. $8, and your hair feels lighter and fuller. And if your hair has ever felt heavy or dull, no matter how much you washed it, this is very likely the reason and the fix, because that coated, weighed down feeling is usually silicone buildup. And simply switching to a clean, gentle brand can make thin, flat hair feel remarkably lighter and fuller within a wash or two. And the next one is the styling spray that costs a third of the cult favorite. Number 6 is a heat-protecting blowout spray, and Marc makes one, the Grow Long Blowout Spray, that sells for around $8, roughly a third of the price of the cult luxury spray everyone raves about. Here is why this belongs on every over 50 list. Aging hair is more fragile and breaks more easily. And every time you blow dry or use a hot tool without protection, you are damaging already delicate hair. So a good spray that shields from heat, speeds up drying, and blocks humidity and frizz genuinely keeps your hair longer and healthier. And reviewers who have used both the $8 one and the $24 cult one say the cheap one gives the same result, sometimes better. Who is it for? Any woman over 50 who blow dries or heat styles and wants to protect her hair while fighting frizz. $8, not $24. And protecting the hair you have matters far more at our age than most women realize, because the hair on your head took years to grow and cannot be rushed back once it breaks. So an $8 spray that stops the breakage before it happens is worth 100 repair treatments after the fact. And the next one is the scalp brand that has taken over for thinning hair. Number 5 is Mielle, the Rosemary Mint Scalp and Strengthening line, selling for around $10. And it has developed a genuine cult following for one reason: it targets the scalp. And scalp health is where fuller, stronger hair actually begins. As we age and hair thins, a healthy, well-cared-for scalp becomes more important than ever. And Rosemary has a real, growing reputation for supporting the look of thicker, stronger hair. So a whole affordable line built around it for the scalp and roots is exactly what many women over 50 are looking for. Now, I will be completely honest at the end about what a shampoo can and cannot do for real hair loss. But for general thinning and scalp care, this $10 line is a gold mine. Who is it for? Any woman over 50 noticing thinner hair who wants to care for her scalp and roots. $10, not $30. And there is real wisdom in where this brand focuses, the scalp. Because for years we poured all our attention onto the lengths and the ends and forgot that hair, like a plant, grows from healthy roots in healthy soil, and a cared-for scalp is the soil. So tending it gently with an affordable, well-loved line is one of the smartest, most overlooked things a woman over 50 can do for her hair. And the next one is the Deep Repair Mask for dry, colored, brittle lengths. Number 4 is an affordable Argan oil brand like OGX or Hask, the kind that makes those rich, deeply nourishing masks and oils selling for around $8. Decades of coloring, heat, and time leave the lengths of our hair dry, brittle, and thirsty. And a genuinely rich Argan oil mask left on for a few minutes in the shower floods the damaged hair with moisture and shine and makes it feel silky and strong again. And nourishing Argan oil is nourishing Argan oil at $8 or $50. These brands have been quietly making excellent, affordable masks for years, while the expensive versions got all the attention. Who is it for? Any woman over 50 with dry, colored, brittle, or over-processed hair. $8, not $50. And this is one of those places where the cheap version genuinely has nothing to apologize for, because a nourishing oil mask is one of the simplest things in hair care to get right. Rich oils and butters that soak into thirsty hair, and the expensive versions are not using some secret oil. The drugstore cannot buy. They are using the same argan, the same nourishment, in a prettier tub. And the next one is the drugstore brand a beauty editor found beat a luxury shampoo in a head-to-head. Number 3 is L'Oréal Paris, one of the biggest, most familiar drugstore names of all, and its newer Elvive hydrating and glossing ranges are the Goldmine, selling for around $8. Here is the story that says it all. A beauty editor tested this brand's hyaluronic acid shampoo directly against a luxury shampoo costing more than 5 times as much, and the cheap one came out on top, leaving her hair cleaner, shinier, and healthier looking. As hair ages, it loses moisture and shine, and these newer formulas, built around hyaluronic acid for hydration and glycolic acid for that glassy, glossy finish, give aging hair back its gloss for a few dollars. And the hydrating, glossing ingredients are the same at $8 as at $40. Who is it for? Any woman over 50 who wants hydrated, glossy, shiny hair. $8, and it outperformed a luxury bottle in a real test. And the next one is the single best drugstore brand for colored and gray hair. Number 2 is L'Oréal EverPure, a sulfate-free color-protecting line selling for around $11 a bottle. And this is the one colorists themselves name as the best drugstore choice for color-treated hair. Here is why it is number 2. So many of us over 50 either color our hair or have gone gray and silver, and both need gentle, sulfate-free care that will not strip the color or dull the silver. And this line is specifically built for exactly that, cleaning gently, protecting your color, and keeping gray bright with a volumizing formula that lifts flat, thinning hair. When the professionals who do this for a living tell you which drugstore line to buy, you listen. And the gentle, color-safe formula is the same at $11 as at $35. Who is it for? Any woman over 50 with colored, gray, or silver hair, which is most of us. $11, and the colorists themselves recommend it. And I want to underline that because it is the strongest kind of proof there is. This is not a brand paying an influencer to praise it. This is the professional who colors hair for a living with nothing to gain, telling you which cheap bottle to buy. And that recommendation is worth more than any glossy advertisement. And now, number one, the cheap brand so good and so beautifully made, you would swear it was luxury. Number one is Kristin, a brand that costs around $12 to $15, and I have put it at the very top because it is the purest gold mine on this list, the one that genuinely looks and feels like a $40 luxury brand, and quietly is not. Its packaging is so sleek and elegant that women assume it belongs at Sephora when it actually sits, quietly, on a Target or drugstore shelf for a third of the price. And it is not just a pretty bottle, it's bond repair line, built on the same kind of bond building and peptide technology as the famous luxury bond brand that started the whole trend, is recommended by hairstylists and professionals. And it genuinely repairs and strengthens the aging, colored, weakened hair we have over 50. So you get luxury looks, luxury packaging, professional level bond repair, and salon quality results for around $12 instead of $40. When a brand this beautiful and this effective costs a quarter of what it looks like it should, the entire idea that you must spend luxury money for luxury hair simply collapses. Buy the $12 one, get the salon result, and keep the rest. And this brand is the perfect note to end on because it exposes the whole trick so clearly. We have been quietly taught to read expensive as better and beautiful packaging as a promise of quality. And this brand simply borrowed the beautiful packaging, put a genuinely excellent formula inside, and priced it honestly. And the result is a product that performs like luxury and costs like the drugstore. Once you have held that bottle in your hand and understood what it is, you can never quite look at a $40 salon bottle the same way again, because you will always wonder how much of that price was the formula, and how much was simply the confidence to charge it. Now, here is how you spot a cheap hair gold mine yourself without me and avoid the cheap duds. Because I promised you the truth, not every cheap bottle is worth buying. It takes about 11 seconds. Turn the bottle over and look for two things. First, does it name a genuinely useful thing it does? Sulfate-free, bond repair, hyaluronic acid, argan oil, color safe, a real function, not just pretty promises. And second, if you have colored or dry or thinning hair, look for sulfate-free and avoid a formula that is mostly heavy silicones, because those are the cheap bottles that weigh hair down and disappoint. A good cheap brand names a real benefit and uses gentle, genuinely useful ingredients. A bad one just smells nice and coats your hair. Learn that difference and you can walk down any drugstore hair aisle and pick the gold mines from the duds in seconds. And if you want the rest of this series, the drugstore products that beat the luxury counter, the skincare that humbles the $90 creams, subscribe, because I do this every single week for women 50 to 75. No sponsor, no PR box, no affiliate links, no salon paying me, just me and the back of a bottle. Now I promised you one honest, important thing, and here it is, because it matters more than any bottle on this list. Everything I have shown you today makes the hair you have look and feel healthier, fuller, shinier, and better cared for. And that is genuinely worth a great deal. But if your real concern is true hair loss, actual thinning at the part, and the temples that worries you when you look in the mirror, then I have to be honest, no shampoo, cheap or expensive, no Rosemary, no Goldmine on this list will regrow lost hair. The one thing genuinely proven to do that is a treatment called minoxidil, which you can buy affordably at the drugstore, and above all, a visit to a doctor who can look at what is actually happening and guide you. So please care for your hair with these lovely, cheap Goldmines. But if the loss is real, do not spend years hoping a shampoo will fix it. See a doctor and use the proven treatment. Pay for what actually works. Never pour your hope down the drain in a bottle that was never going to do the job. So strip away all 8 brands, and here is what you actually keep. The villain was never the salon brand or the luxury bottle, which are allowed to sell lovely products at whatever price women will pay. The villain is the belief that a $12 drugstore bottle simply cannot be as good as a $40 salon one, because that belief is exactly what keeps women loyally overpaying for hair care, while the genuinely brilliant, cheap brands sit ignored on the shelf right beside them. The shampoo does not know what it cost. Your hair cannot read the price. Learn to spot the goldmine by what it actually does. Protect your color, care for your scalp, repair your lengths, and see a doctor if the thinning is real, and you will have healthier, fuller, more beautiful hair. Over 50 for a fraction of what you have been paying, and never feel talked down to in that aisle again. And there is a real dignity in that, honestly, because for years the salon and the luxury brands have counted on a quiet little bit of shame. The feeling that if you truly cared about your hair, you would spend more. That the cheap shelf is where you settle when you cannot do better. That was always a lie. The cheap shelf, once you know how to read it, is where the smartest women shop. The ones who figured out that the price was mostly the marketing and kept the difference for something that actually matters to them. So tell me down in the comments, which cheap hair brand have you secretly loved for years? Or which expensive salon brand do you suspect you have been overpaying for? Be honest, I read every single one, and your recommendations help every woman reading. And in the next video, I am taking on something more serious, the hair dye brands that may be quietly harming your hair, and the cleaner ones that are genuinely safe to use, because every woman over 50 deserves to know. Subscribe so you do not miss it.